Growing a podcast is extremely hard. It's been more than a year that I'm doing this, and I have now reached 200 people that listen to me, which for me, to be honest, is amazing. Like, I cannot believe that you listen to me every week. Imagine like having 200 people in front of you, like you're the teacher, or like you have an audience of 200 people. I don't want to say that I'm the teacher. that sounds kind of wrong, but like imagine like 200 people in front of you and you're speaking to them every week. It's amazing. Like the fact that you come and listen to me, I'm super humble and super happy about that. When people ask me, how do you grow an audience? Like, I don't know. It's so hard. Obviously, there's a few things that come to mind. First of all, Twitter really helped. And then my interviews. When I interview people, the people that I interview share it with their audience. And normally, since they are also my audience, they end up listening, or some of them end up listening to the WBE. Why do they keep listening? Well, I guess it's because they like the content, and as well because we create a relationship. I mean, we are talking with each other for more than a year and a half now, and I feel that you are part of my life. And I guess you feel the same. So that's why people just keep listening. But there's many other ways to grow your audience, but they require a lot of work. One thing that I've started doing recently, or a few months ago, I told you about it, was to start posting my podcast episodes to YouTube. And I created a script to do that. And basically, what you're just listening now, you can also listen on YouTube. But I also started in my interviews to record video and then create little, I call them Joe Rogan snippets. You know, when you go on YouTube and you see a bunch of interviews that Joe Rogan did, and they are just nice little snippets, and normally they have a catchy title. So I tried to do that with my interviews as well. But this is a lot of work. Like, imagine having an interview of 1 hour and a half plus video, and then finding the right snippets and then editing them and like pushing them to YouTube and doing all of that. It takes hours. Just for you to understand, just for me to edit the interview, it takes maybe, depends, 3 to 5 hours, one interview. And then if you need to create these snippets and post them on YouTube, these are many hours of work, and you really don't know if they will work out. Sometimes you will only see the results after months, whenever like YouTube algorithm decides to pick them up. So I was always trying to find a solution for that, a way to somehow create these clips and these snippets in a more automated way. And I found it. And by the way, this is the sponsored section of this episode. So your advice, this is sponsored, but like, this is super exciting. I was on Twitter, and I think it was Arvid. Arvid also has now interviews, and he has a podcast, as you probably know. And he tweeted something in the lines of, I wish there was a better way to create snippets out of my interviews. And I was like, yeah, just join the line. Obviously, everyone wants that, but unfortunately, there's no way to do that. And then I got a little notification. Bloop. I was like, okay, someone answered my comment. And it was Abhinav. And Abhinav said, hey, we have a solution for you. We have a tool called Recast.studio, and we basically just released the new feature where we convert your video or your podcast into snippets using AI. And I was very suspicious. I was like, yeah, another person claiming that they can do this. Yeah, obviously you can. Like, no way. And he shared a website, and I was like, okay, let me try it out. I open it, and I have to say, like, the experience, first of all, it's super nice, because I could just search for my podcast and search for an episode, so I actually didn't have to upload it. I was like, okay, wanna be entrepreneur, very good, all right, click, bam. And then it said it was analyzed for a few minutes, and it did a really good job transcribing the whole episode. So you have this super nice feature where you see the whole transcription of your podcast, and you can actually edit your podcast by editing the text. There's many other platforms that already do this, so this was not new, but it's still very exciting, and it's very easy for you to skip ahead and to find little clips, because you can just read them, and it's much easier. But I was excited about this other feature. He said, like, okay, we can create the snippets. And I was like, perfect, let me try. So I found the feature, I clicked generate snippets, And again, it took a few seconds. It said, okay, we are generating the snippets. I used the, by the way, Peter Level's interview because I still didn't create snippets for this interview, and it's the one with the most success. And bam, there was around like 30 snippets created. And I was like, no way. I cannot believe. And the first one just said, are you religious? No. And I was like, okay, this is a super interesting title. So I actually clicked, and it got exactly the right time, the right snippet. So it starts with me asking, are you religious? And with him answering no and explaining why. And it's so good. Like, I kid you not, it really, really works well. And not only actually the editing part, but even the titles, everything. And then it generates a little template for you with the transcription. So it generates a little video where people can actually follow along, and they can read it, and generates a title. It makes it makes it so easy for you to create these snippets. I thought it was lucky. I thought, okay, maybe the first one worked, but then all the others worked. And it's like, wow, they actually made it. So this tool is called Recast, and you can find it on the show notes of this episode. It's called Recast.studio, and it's really interesting because they share a little bit also why they started this. They started this as a Chrome extension to convert blog posts into videos, because writers and video editors did it manually and it was really hard, and they shifted towards making a tool for podcasters so that people can repurpose their podcasting and their episodes. And I know if you are a podcaster, you're thinking, I need this. Yes, I can give my seal of approval here because I've tried it out and I've used it and I've already uploaded. To be honest, I started paying for it. No joke, I started paying for it. And I started uploading already a bunch of snippets from my Peter Levis interview. You can also like create a little template of your video, and then it will just generate all the snippets following that template. And it's a great tool. They are indie makers. They are just starting now, so the pricing is still very low. I think the first tier is around $10. And I also have a discount for you. If you use WB20, you get 20% discount on all plans, monthly and annual. So this is really a great opportunity for you to go and help a fellow indie maker with a great product. And if you are a podcaster, definitely go try it out.